thank you for joining us.
Sure.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your role?
Yeah, my name is Bryce Yang, the brand director for WWE at 2K.
So, tell us about the new WWE game this year.
So, WWE2K15 is the first time that 2K has really been able to develop this project from the start. So we're very excited about the project this year. First time in Next Gen also, Xbox One and PS4, in addition to 360 and PS3. But with that comes just so much more we can put into the game, right? So top to bottom, it's just so much better of a game. Not just how it looks, the graphics look amazing, but how it plays. Like the actual wrestling in the game is so much better this year as well. Great new game modes, career mode that's being played out there. My career for the first time in WWE. You get to create your WWE superstar and have him come up through the Performance Center and NXT onto the main roster, just like you would in WWE. So that's the great new mode this year. We have showcase mode, single player storyline. We have just all the great exhibition match types, online play, universe mode. It's just a jam-packed product this year. Yeah, so we're really excited by it.
Certainly sounds like there's a lot in it.
There's definitely a lot in there. Yeah.
So let's take a walk through some of those individually. Tell us about My Career Mode, how it works, and how a player gets into it.
Sure. So in WWE now, they have a new developmental system that Triple H is kind of put in place. It's where you start in the Performance Center, which is in Florida, and that's where you start developing your skills and honing your craft. You start as a pretty basic wrestler, but as you're playing through it, you start working on your moves and your persona and the way that you look to start adding the elements that make you a WWE superstar versus or just like a wrestler, right? So you'll go through that. NXT is where you'll stop next. That's the developmental league, more or less, for WWE. And then eventually, as you're progressing, you'll make your way to the main roster. But along the way, you have a lot of choices that you're going to make. So do you want to be a good guy? Do you want to be a bad guy? It's based on how you wrestle in the matches. It's based on how you make decisions, who you choose to be allies or rivals with in the career mode itself. But it's all based on player choice, and the game just builds itself around you. So it's the biggest mode in the game. It's definitely going to be the fan favorite mode this year also.
So tell us a bit more about the choice you say, good guy, bad guy. Give us an example.
So let's say you like to cheat during your matches. Do stuff behind the referee's back, break the rules a bit, maybe outside the ring after the match. If Daniel Bryan comes out, you can choose to either slap him in the face, let's say, or you can shake his hand. But depending on what you do, that will start shaping what kind of a character you are.
Okay. And can you customize your character?
Yeah, so the character is totally customizable. The first step in the career mode is building the appearance out of your person, right? And the creation suite is so powerful, especially next gen. You can customize him to be exactly how you look, basically. Yeah, you can customize. You can morph, their faces, their shape, their bodies. You can have a guy as wide as Mark Henry, as tall as the Big Show, or as little as Rey Mysterio. But all totally customizable. So
how many wrestlers are in the game this year?
There are a lot. There are a ton. It's a huge roster, and there's names past, present, future NXT guys are in there. And then in addition to all that, we announced our DLC plan as well, which has a ton of additional characters as well. But a little something for everyone. Undertaker, longtime fans will play as Undertaker. They'll want to play as Triple H. You've got Sting as a pre-order exclusive this year, and then for our newer fans, we have the current day roster. Cena, Lesnar, etc. So huge roster. Great names.
Okay. And I'm assuming Divas are in there again this year.
The Divas are in the game this year. There's some new faces that fans will be excited about. But yeah, you get to play as the Divas. Pretty much who you'd imagine would be in the game from WWE is in there.
How do you guys go around choosing who to put in the game?
So that's a process that we work with WWE on. We look at the roster, we figure out the current roster is just mainly who you see on TV, and that part WWE has input on as well. And for some of the other guys who aren't full-time guys, a lot of that comes from the 2K side, and then WWE then reviews it as well. So guys like like Sting, for instance, was someone that we really wanted to feature this year, just like the Ultimate Warrior last year, and just like Brock Lesnar in prior years. That was someone that we thought fans really wanted, and we heard the feedback from the fans. So that's how Sting made his way in. But it's a collaborative process between development and marketing and WWE.
And you guys have gone to some pretty extreme lengths to get the likenesses as real as possible. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We had a crew basically going around the United States, driving all around to backstage, or to be backstage at Raw and SmackDown and other WWE shows to scan the faces and the bodies of the WWE talent, just to make sure that they look completely authentic and real, down to like the tiniest details. But it's a giant rig, takes hours to set up and tear down. But yeah, the extreme lengths that we've gone to, most of all for Shawn Michaels, I can think of. Shawn Michaels lives in rural Texas, where there isn't really an airport near him. I flew into Abilene, Texas, out of Dallas to Abilene, Texas, and from Abilene, Texas, we drove quite a distance to get Shawn, to bring him to a place to get scanned. And where he lives is not, cell phone service is not fantastic. So we definitely have traveled a lot just to get that one person. Yeah.
Excellent. And again, you've done a lot more with the audio and the commentary this year, haven't you?
Yeah, so the audio and commentary is something that has been not the strongest suit for the game over the years. But the good thing is that all the guys from Visual Concepts have great experience in making awesome sports games with great commentary and audio. So a lot of those guys are working on WWE as well. So the audio has been completely redone. So we're capturing sound we have a mocap studio. We've been capturing the sounds of the ring, of objects in the game. They've been going to the shows and recording crowd audio. The commentators themselves, so Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler, have been recording in tandem 3 times as many lines as any other year, so that the commentary, and they're doing it together, so that the commentary is more organic. It's not so canned feeling versus other years. So it's definitely the best audio commentary we've had in this series.
So what's Career Invasion, and how does it work?
So Career Invasion is a cool mode or a cool feature of the My Career mode. So what that is that if I have my career that I'm playing through, my friend could be doing the same on his machine, and what happens is we can choose to have his character invade mine. So maybe after a match, maybe I've just won a title, his character could come in and attack me during the match. But it's a cool way for your friends to be a part of the storyline that you're building.
Excellent. What was the biggest challenge for you guys in developing the new game?
Well, I think the game is always on they've been working on this game for a long time between Ukes and Visual Concepts. But I think there's high expectations for the first time that you're on the new generation of consoles, right? But it's how do you fit all that great content and still deliver everything that's been in the game for years. But it's always a challenge. But the teams have great experience. Ukes has been making wrestling games for 15 years. Visual Concepts has been around forever, making awesome sports games for just as long as well. So the good thing is with all the challenges, whatever they may be, you have 2 great teams that each bring to the table different strengths to develop what we think is definitely the best WWE game we've ever put out.
And what are the differences between the previous gen and new gen / current gen / next gen, whatever you want to call it, versions of the game?
So each generation of systems have modes that are exclusive to them. So my career is exclusive to Xbox One and PS4, but PS3 and Xbox 360 also have some exclusive features as well that we'll be announcing in the next week or so. But there's some great there's one great mode that is in 360 PS3 that is a very deep big game mode that is just on last gen or current gen, or what we're going to call it.
Excellent. If you could say 5 reasons why people should play WWE 2K15, what would they be?
5 reasons. Well, I think most of all, if you're looking just for an awesome WWE game, the core wrestling mechanics in the game are so much better and so much more smooth. And the matches that you have are a lot more like what you expect to see on WWE TV. So, from that angle, it's the best wrestling game we've put out, right? So that's one thing. And the graphics, obviously, that's the first thing you're gonna notice is how great the game looks. You get the likenesses of like Triple H or Randy Orton or Brock Lesnar; they look just like those guys. The Showcase is a fun mode, single-player storyline mode. It's a great way to relive 2 great stories. You got John Cena and CM Punk, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. And you play through those great rivalries, but all the key points are set up through these great historical video packages that the teams have created. So it's like a trip down memory lane for long-time fans, or for newer fans. It's you're going to hear or see those stories for the first time. Creation is always such a huge part in the game. It's one of our most popular features every single year. Literally millions and millions of downloads happen every year of user-generated content. So that's another big one. I think I have one more to cover, but Universe Mode is awesome. There is no end to Universe Mode. It's just like a real-time, constantly evolving WWE world that builds itself around the player and the decisions that you make. So it's a little something for everyone.
Perfect. And what are the plans for DLC?
So we have the biggest DLC plan we've ever had. We've got a season pass that will allow you to get all the content for about 30% discount or so. But there's great storyline content. There's great playable characters. There's a lot of storylines past, present, and future. Some NXT guys as well. So a lot of great content for fans of different age ranges.
And finally, when's the game out?
So the game comes out over here October 21st on PS3 and Xbox 360, and then October 31st, and then 3 weeks later on Xbox One and PS4. So we're really excited for the next gen launch, and it's definitely gonna be worth the wait.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. Why not subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link on the screen now?